let's light things up. Listen up, Biggie in the studio, where the real talk flows, yo. The vibe is buzzing, the truth is loud, but Biggie talking calm, keeping it proud. We got stories of struggle, from hardship to hope, from the block to the globe. Yo, Biggie, break it down, break it clear. No filter, no lies, just sincere. Follow Biggie, Biggie, big. Hit like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. So let's light things up. So let's light things up. We talk about money, we talk about pain, the pain of the youth, the loss of the main. Biggie talk about love, about family ties, all the good and all the lies. We break the chains of ignorance, show the truth with our own language. We're building a bridge over the storm. Keep it steady, keep it warm. Follow Biggie, Biggie, big. Hit like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. So let's light things up. From the suburbs to the skyline, from the sunrise to the shine. We're turning the page, turning the page. We'll break the walls, we'll break the cage. Biggie on mic with heat to your ear. What's happening in the world? No fear. We talk about peace, we talk about love, we talk about hope. Like a dove, we keep the rhythm, keep the rhyme. We'll light the way through the night. Follow Biggie, Biggie, Biggie. Hit like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and get a teacup. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. So let's light things up. So let's light things up. Yeah, yeah. Biggie, Biggie, Biggie on the mic. We're talking truth, no hype. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. Listen up, Biggie in the studio, where the real talk flows, yo. The vibe is buzzing, the truth is loud, but Biggie talking calm, keeping it proud. We got stories of struggle, from hardship to hope, from the block to the globe. Yo, Biggie, break it down, break it clear. No filter, no lies, just sincere. Follow Biggie, Biggie, big. Hit like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. So let's light things up. So let's light things up. We talk about money, we talk about pain, the pain of the youth, the loss of the main. Biggie talk about love, about family ties, all the good and all the lies. We break the chains of ignorance, show the truth with our own language. We're building a bridge over the storm. Keep it steady, keep it warm. Follow Biggie, Biggie, big. Hit like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what
Live. Biggie, 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 Biggie on the mic.
Hey, right.
We're talking truth, no hype. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. Yeah. Listen up, Biggie in the studio, where the real talk flows, yo. The vibe is buzzing, the truth is loud, but Biggie talking calm, keeping it proud. We got stories of struggle, from hardship to hope, from the block to the globe.
Yo, Biggie, dig it out.
Break it down,
Break it clear.
break it clear.
No filter, no lie, just sincere. Follow Biggie, 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 hit like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. Follow Biggie, 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 hit like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. We talk about money, we talk about pain, the pain of the youth, the loss of the main. Biggie talks about love, about family ties, all the good and all the lies. We break the chains of ignorance, show the truth with our own language. We're building a bridge over the storm. Keep it steady, keep it warm. Follow Biggie, 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 hit like a let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. Follow Biggie, 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 hit like a let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. From the suburbs to the skyline, yeah. From the sunrise to the shine. We're turning the page, turning the page. We'll break the walls, we'll break the cage. Biggie on mic, with heat to your ear. What's happening in the world? No fear. We talk about peace, we talk about love, we talk about hope like a dove. We keep the rhythm, keep the rhyme, keep the rhyme. We'll light the way through the night. Follow Biggie, 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 hit it like a let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and get a teacup. It's Biggie time, so let's light things off. Follow Biggie, 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 hit it like a let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. Live. Biggie, 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 Biggie on the mic. Hey, right. We're talking truth, no hype. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. Yeah. Listen up, Biggie in the studio, where the real talk flows, yo. The vibe is buzzing, the truth is loud, but Biggie talking calm, keeping it proud. We got stories of struggle, from hardship to hope, from the block to the globe. You're Biggie, dig it out, break it down, break it clear, break it clear. No filter, no lie, just sincere. Follow Biggie, 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 hit it like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. Follow Biggie, 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 hit it like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. We talk about money, we talk about pain. The pain of the youth, the loss of the main. Biggie talks about love, about family ties. All the good and all the lies. We break the chains of ignorance, show the truth with our own language. We're building a bridge over the storm. Keep it steady, keep it warm. Follow Biggie, 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 hit it like a let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. Follow Biggie, 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 hit it like a let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. From the suburbs to the skyline, yeah. From the sunrise to the shine. We're turning the page, turning the page. We'll break the walls, we'll break the cage. Biggie on mic, with heat to your ear. What's happening in the world? No fear. We talk about peace, we talk about love, we talk about hope like a dove. We keep the rhythm, keep the rhyme, keep the rhyme. We'll light the way through the night. Follow Biggie, 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 hit it like a let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and get a teacup. It's Biggie time, so let's light things off. Follow Biggie, 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 hit it like a let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. Live. Biggie, 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 Biggie on the mic. Hey, right. We're talking truth, no hype. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. Yeah. Listen up, Biggie in the studio, where the real talk flows, yo. The vibe is buzzing, the truth is loud, but Biggie talking calm, keeping it proud. We got stories of struggle, from hardship to hope, from the block to the globe. You're Biggie, dig it out, break it down, break it clear, break it clear. No filter, no lie, just sincere. Follow Biggie, 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 hit it like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things.
Let's talk. Biggie, Biggie, Biggie on the mic. We're talking truth, no hype. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up.
Listen up, Biggie in the studio, where the real talk flows, yo. The vibe is buzzing, the truth is loud, but Biggie talking calm, keeping it proud.
We got stories of struggle, from hardship to hope, from the block to the globe.
Yo, Biggie, break it down, break it clear. No filter, no lie, just sincere.
Follow Biggie, 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 hit like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up.
We talk about money, we talk about pain. The pain of the youth, the loss of the main. Biggie talk about love, about family ties. All the good and all the lies.
We break the chains of ignorance, show the truth with our own language.
We're building a bridge over the storm. Keep it steady, keep it warm.
Follow Biggie, 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 hit like and let's talk. We're not about drama.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Biggie Let's Talk, episode 52. And today, let me just stop this music. Doesn't want to stop. That's it. Hope that's better. Anyway, today I'm with Jordan Grant Films, film producer, film director, film everything. So I'm going to get him in so he can introduce himself properly without me bodging it up. Jordan, what's happening, my man?
Yes, Biggie, you're right there.
I'm good, man. Can you hear me okay?
Good. Yeah, I can hear you fine. You can hear me?
Yeah, man, perfect, bro. Hold on, let me just-
Wonderful. Am I in frame and stuff?
Yeah, you're perfect, my brother. How you doing? You good?
Wonderful. I'm really, really good. Thank you. Really good. Yeah, things are building.
You know all about this in the frame business, isn't it? Anyway, before we get cracking, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone, and hi, Biggie, as well. I'm Jordan
Yes,
Grant,
yes.
operating as Jordan Grant Films, a freelance filmmaker operating in and around West London, but then also further afield, so across London, nationwide, and also worldwide. I produce music videos, adverts, documentary film, corporate video, dance video, everything and anything, and I'm a bit of a one-man band.
So are you like a one-man band, seriously? So you do everything yourself?
Somewhat so. So we conceive everything, or I say we.
Yeah.
I conceive everything from scratch
Okay.
alongside any clients, develop things further from there. So in terms of the scripting and treatments and writing and formats, I deal with that side of things. And then actually putting it into practice, getting
Brilliant.
filming, editing, and
So
then the
you're from
post-production.
London. You said that, but you're from London. What part of
Yeah.
London? From West London?
Yeah, West London. I grew up in Hanwell and Ealing.
Oh, yeah.
And then I've moved around, throughout life. But yeah, my home base was West London all the way throughout.
Cool. That's where I was born and bred as well. Downtown Southall.
All right. Okay. So we were right next door.
Yeah, man. And plus, then I used to go uni in Ealing, so I used to go past Hanwell every day.
Okay. Cool, man.
Okay, so what about education? Where did you do your education, and did that
Right,
involve
so
film? Did that involve
I-
filmmaking?
I did my
Oh.
high schooling in Hounslow. I went to Isleworth and Sion, so not too far from Southall either.
Yeah.
And then went on to university. I actually studied marine and freshwater biology, so I didn't take the direct route through to filming. I had a childhood obsession with anything underwater, and basically from the minute that I could actually say the word marine biologist, I was ready to go and start making that a life goal. So everything that I did throughout schooling was to work towards that, and going to uni in Wales to go and study that.
Have you ever pursued anything to do that?
Uni kind of came at the wrong time for me. I don't think I'd grown enough at the time to pursue it properly. I was well into my DJing at the time, and just everything else that uni entails. And so no, unfortunately, I decided to drop out in the first year with the thought of coming back. Just reasserted myself first. I should have maybe taken a gap year. But in the end, the way that life turns, I didn't end up going back to uni to do that. So I've got a hanging bachelor's.
Fair enough. Okay, main inspirations growing up, whether they're movie actors or directors or
Film wise, I've always had a passion for film, but it was more so tying up with the marine biology stuff when I was younger. So watching all of the David Attenborough shows and so on.
yeah.
That didn't necessarily directly motivate me to get into film or anything like that, but I always definitely had a massive appreciation for it. As a kid, I loved the Henson world, so all the Labyrinth, Dark Crystals, Legends, Willow, all of those, the sort of puppetry side of things, but also tackling very adult themes. And I was massively into those. Again, didn't really reflect on my film career later on.
Okay.
But the first things that really started motivating me visually were things like the Stanley Kubrick movies, massively deep, massively based on framing and suspense and the lack of dialogues in places and so on. It's not something I've necessarily professed in with my now film work, but at the same time, I do massively admire that, the work of people such as that. Oh,
Okay,
and
and
Michel Gondry from the quirky side, crazy
Excellent.
French director who actually
Yeah,
very
yeah,
well
yeah.
balanced, working between like a lot of directors, like Guy Ritchie himself, started
Yeah.
with music videos, started with adverts, made their mark like that, and then eventually built into to actually making full-length feature films. Again,
Sure.
Guy Ritchie, Michel Gondry, both amazing directors.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, any siblings? And did they take
Yeah,
up
I've
any
got a younger sister,
filming?
a couple of years younger than me. Massively love her. And then I have a whole Simpsons level cast of half brothers and sisters.
Excellent. And any of them take up filming or directing or anything like that?
No, but some of them who I've connected with later in life have corporate sort of backgrounds and whatnot, and I've managed to link up and do some formal work with them, which was great. Yeah, that actually provided a massive boost many years ago when I really needed to get my foot in the door and being taken seriously with big businesses.
Okay, so when you went into film directory or film producing, what was the obsession? What pulled you in?
I've had loads of hobbies throughout life. One I was into quite early on from my teens was skating, so rollerblading, not just skating along, but like what they used to call aggressive skating, which was jumping down stairs, grinding down handrails, doing flips and all sorts of stuff. And as a part of that, they were some of the first kids to be rolling around with relatively decent video cameras, and that definitely sparked an interest in it. So coming back from skating, making edits, scrabbling together whatever kind of software you could utilize, and the different tips
Brilliant.
that you could pick up from friends. And within skating, there were quite a few serious filmmakers. One of note, Professor Green, he used to be a very big skater back in
Oh
the
yeah,
day that I used to roll with. I got my first video camera off him, funnily enough, as an exchange for a pair of skates. He
brilliant.
was massive within the skate sort of filming world, and it's a shame that
So
he doesn't actually still
you
film
done
now.
skating? Did you do like parkour as well? You know, like
It's a little bit like parkour. At one time, I found myself jumping off the South Bank Centre, off the top level to the bottom level, called the Leap of Faith. But yeah, nowadays try and keep the body a bit safer. I do skate, but not very much, and it's just so that I can keep everything in gear ready for filming.
so. What was the defining moment you thought, you know what, I'm gonna be a filmmaker, I'm a film producer? Was it that jump off the building or?
Much like lots of my hobbies, I've always chosen to keep them as long-running passions. But the time with film, where I actually decided that this was going to be something I wanted to stick out, was actually, I don't know how to cut this briefly, but I will. I suffered quite a severe injury through an unprovoked attack one night trying to protect a girlfriend of mine. And I was hit over the head with either a knuckle duster or a kosh, ended up with quite a severe brain injury, taken out of work for 5 years. And during that time, whilst I was rehabilitating and doing vocational profiling for work, I took on a work experience. I said that I wanted to work in film or TV. They thought that my challenges at the time might be a little bit contrasting to what my capabilities would be within that
Yeah.
realm. So they actually helped get me a job or a work experience placement at the Barbican Arts Centre. And so that was setting up lighting rigs, setting up theatre miking,
Oh, okay.
dealing with all sorts of entertainment things, running cinematic reels. And that was with the thought of building up my stamina and other faculties, and then eventually getting into TV, which is a very high energy, fast paced, relentless industry. And so eventually I got myself together enough to be able to actually get some video TV opportunities and advertising opportunities.
Okay, so as someone who directs, shoots, and edits, how do these roles influence each other and their creative personality?
I think it's an absolute blessing to. Some people say I might be shooting myself in the foot taking on the amount that I do with the different roles, but I think it's an absolute blessing to be able to actually combine all of those roles. So now that I'm starting to get into the kind of budgets where your time to think is actually afforded within the budget, I'm actually able to conceive these worlds, put them to paper, and then there's that amazing feeling when you're actually shooting whatever it is, whether it be a music video or a corporate or a charity-based video, and you actually get to see these shots that you'd scripted for into your screenplay, and they're actually coming to life.
Brilliant.
It's the biggest blessing. So yeah, but it also makes you fully responsible for everything that you do.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there are some things out of your control. You can turn up to a
100%.
client sometimes, and as much as you've primed and prepped them, I'm very much used to working with very much screen ready people, having worked in lots of art-based clients. So when you work with someone again that thinks they've got the confidence, but as soon as you put the camera in front of them and they sort of freeze, or the lines aren't coming out as easily, you realize, oh yeah, I maybe should have accounted for this.
Okay, what separates a good visual from a powerful one that really connects with people?
The audience being able to relate to it, really. Like, there's lots of film obviously that takes you in the other way and helps you explore new worlds that you hadn't considered, but in this day and age, I think especially with the rising of social media and so on, that you definitely need to be able to connect with your audience immediately. There's lots of routes that people are catching your attention, but you know, and as we know, people scroll within 2 seconds, 1 second nowadays. So you need to do something to catch their attention, but then you also need to come with some substance and also hopefully allow your audience to quickly relate to it.
It's that attention span, isn't it? It's not very long, is it?
It's getting difficult now. You know, there are formats made even for films, not even just TV formats, but film formats that are now made. I've forgotten the term, but so that they can basically be watched whilst people are scrolling on their phones. Dual
Wow.
screen viewing or something along those lines.
Okay,
So yeah,
what
they're actually making slightly dumbed down or less attention heavy
yeah.
programming so that people can use their phones. And this is my message to now say, people, I know you're using your phones to do this, but don't do something else whilst you're doing it if you can avoid it, unless of course you're cooking a dinner or something like that.
Okay, what help? Where am I? How do you keep your work authentic while still meeting client expectations?
It's a massively difficult one, especially when trying to turn this from a passion into, you know, a livelihood. You just have to be realistic about your time. Unfortunately, a lot of that comes through testing the water, trial and error, learning. But really, I try and apply a sort of measure twice, cut once approach nowadays. So I always used to assume that things would be quicker or quote for things on the best of terms. But then you turn up to the shoot and they're ill prepared, however much you've prepared them or whatnot. And so I
Okay,
find
talking about clients, how do you find them? Is it like you're on networking, or is it word of mouth?
happens in all sorts of ways, but I've got some really long lasting clients that came about through word of mouth. And then I've got people that find me through the grapevine. For about 5 years, all of my work was coming by referral just on social media. So just on Facebook and Instagram
That's
alone,
brilliant.
which is an absolute blessing. It's got a bit harder now. It's got a bit more competitive. People have power and access to these wonderful things in our hands that can make amazing media.
On the AI.
And so now it's just about finding the right client base that once they want to step up to something a little bit more serious and professional, then I can be the person to take hold of that. And in the meantime, you can enjoy the stuff on your Instagram stories and so on.
Okay, what's the biggest misconception people have about working in film and content creation?
A couple of elements to it. I guess on the higher end of things, people think that you have to have all the kit and all the fandangles going on, when really, again, we have these wonderful tools in our hands that you can do so much with. It's actually about the message. There are lots of directors now who are very stuffy about the kit they have and how long it took to garner and why only they can use it. But at the same time, you know, you've got films like 28 Days Later, for example, a whole cinematic production was shot on an iPhone, albeit with additions. But really, the idea is that you've got the concept and idea down to a T, and then you could literally film it on a potato, even make that idea work for your potato, if that makes sense.
Okay, how do you go from local projects to operating worldwide, and what lessons have you learned with that to grow? And where have you been? Where have you been worldwide?
Right. Okay. So I've done bits of filming in New York, a little bit of filming in Barcelona, a small amount in France, Wales. So not quite fully international yet, but bits and pieces. I've had lots of foreign clients come over here, though. I worked with a team from Austria that actually came over here, and I took unit management of their whole production. So they just did the filming and the editing, but I set up everything before they got here.
Brilliant.
And during their time here. But I didn't have an approach that basically, it's not like I just grew and then became multinational. Lots of the clients that I've worked with over time, I don't know if you're still there, but I'll keep talking in the meantime. Hey, you've gone under me now. Yeah, I had lots of clients that I had long-standing connections with here that then moved abroad. And then I was the go-to guy to bring through to help bring their projects to fruition elsewhere once they were established in another country.
Excellent. Okay, where am I now? How do you keep your work authentic? Because obviously there's loads of people doing your kind of stuff now.
Yeah,
Especially-
loosely touched on it
especially-
before. It's just about being your real self, targeting the kind of projects that you want, knowing what you want, and then individually with projects, knowing what you want of each project, handling both the client's needs and wants, but also your own. I find that as long as you get those ideas and concepts in early, and you can convey them in lots of ways, you know, whether it be just through meeting directly or storyboarding, generally you can get most people to go your way and at the same time go their own way, and it just meets in beautiful cohesion. So yeah.
And did you make many mistakes as you got up on your path?
Yeah, trial and error. Filming, massively creative, but again, it's not how you F up, it's how you recover. The creative side of things, you have to have the ability to turn nothing into something. every project is the same in the sense that you start with a blank canvas and you don't know you don't know how it, well, you hope that it's going to be the best thing you ever did, but technically you don't know how it's going to turn out. But you have to have that trust in, and that's what editing is. Editing is making changes and changes and changes, so much so that when you show a video to a client for the first time, they might say, oh, couldn't you have just done that, or could you have just done that? You've ultimately provided them with something that's so glossy or so smooth that in essence that's given them the ability to pick and choose. Whereas if you'd given them a scrambled mess, they kind of, they wouldn't know where to go with it. So you've actually empowered them to make the right decisions, and you've given them something so good that ultimately they can easily critique it, which is wonderful. Everyone has a view, everyone's opinion's important. Look at TV, is to form opinions. So yeah.
Definitely. Okay, you work across communities and businesses and music. Why is community storytelling so important? And how do visuals change the way music brand story is flat and not seen? Obviously, I've seen your work on the carnival and everything. I think it's brilliant.
Oh, that's funny. I shot that one on a mobile phone. I had some good access. I got in with Channel One sound system, and I know people at Abashanti, and there's a couple of bits and pieces there. I find that with the aspect of community, the concept of TV was made to actually give so much attention, the majority of attention, to people that we don't necessarily relate to, or that we might never cross paths with in life, or share the same stories or challenges. We as a populace, we go through this stuff on a daily, and therefore would it not be more beneficial to show the average person or the day-to-day person struggle or life, or help them solve a problem that could ultimately change the rest of their life?
100%.
I think if I'm to work with someone that's already established and famous, not that I wouldn't shy away from that, but if I were to make a film or to shoot something tomorrow with Robert Downey Jr., it's very, very unlikely to change the imprint of the way that he's perceived. Whereas if I get to work with someone who's just started their first business, or has a charity that really needs eyes on it, or someone that's got an amazing song but not necessarily a record label or a contract, it feels really, really important to be, and special to be a part of that as well. I take more pleasure in that than actually working in the high end stuff, because I think people who have actually really had to scrabble together to work a budget out for stuff have really had to put consideration in stuff more than you just, working for someone who's got cameras in their faces all day.
Definitely. Okay, your kind of work is quite long and it can be draining as well. So when creativity dries up, what self-doubt kicks in, how do you push through it? So how do you keep yourself motivated?
Filming has ruined friendships and all manner of relationships. It's withdrawn me from life. It's given me access to new parts of life and seeing things, but also with limitations, because you're filming, not letting your hair loose. I think just fixating on your goal, knowing what your goal is, sticking to it, and just trusting the greater good of things. I might be killing off one of your questions that I know is probably going to come, which is how do I focus? Oh no, sorry, I went off track there. Sorry, please ask your question again.
No problem, brother. So when self-doubt kicks in, how do you keep yourself motivated?
Yeah, right. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Sounds a little bit self-indulgent, but I watched some of my older videos back. Sometimes really old ones, sometimes more recent ones. I always set out with a goal of making every video better than last for one quality or another, however different or diverse they are. But to watch back over your own material or listen back if you're a musician or whatever form of creative, to look back, and that gives you the most tangible way of seeing that you've actually got further, and that's going to continue, and it will continue. But there can be moments of lackluster where you're stuck in the studio, you're looking at a client's face maybe more than they ever have in their lifetime, and you're thinking, what's going to come of this? Is it even going to be seen by the right people once I put it in their hands? But you just have to fight on with the spirit that I have now quoted correctly for this, and for the amount of time and passion that I will give to the project, and can allow it to be seen properly. And ultimately, at the end of the day, there aren't many jobs where people get rewarded and thanked for their work every day. You don't go to most jobs and they pat you on the shoulder after and say thanks so much. So it's a massively celebratory kind of job, where every job is like a win. as it goes, you know, that you're getting the celebration of your work each time. Imagine you were able to do that every time you fitted a fridge or fix someone's cooker hob or
Sure. Okay,
so
going
yeah, I'm
on from the
grateful for that.
discipline side, moving on from the discipline side, how do you keep yourself motivated?
Um
Oh no, sorry. Moving on from the
yeah.
motivational side, how do you keep yourself disciplined? Sorry.
Um just sticking to my goal. I know I've done a lot of training. More recently I joined the Chamber of Commerce, the Hillingdon Growth Program, and I found that to be massively beneficial. I've come in here doing it all alone, having to learn business on my own, I already knew how to talk with people as such, but knowing where to draw the line or how to put your foot down or how to condense things to make them, you know, take less time in essence.
Because obviously with the technology nowadays, it's getting very competitive as well, isn't it?
Well,
Like you
just
said earlier on.
know your lane as well. Again, I pride myself on being a one-man band and doing a plethora of different types of videos, but you it's really hard to constantly keep training in all of these fields, and you do eventually need to build the specialism. So yeah, I need to take on things such as AI, but at the same time I very much doubt that I'm going to go on to be a big AI specialist at this stage. You do have to stay adaptable, but I think there's still an earnestness in real film, and we can smell the sense in the true story. That
Definitely.
might change in a few years or decades, but let's see.
Okay, what excites you more about the film and digital storytelling heading?
Sorry.
What excites you more about the digital and storytelling, digital wise?
I do think there are other avenues to explore. I think they're going to get more intuitive. So although I was kind of cancelling out AI there in a sense, I do think there are so many ways that this can lead on. I'm now starting to integrate AI into my work, if even if it's just transcribing subtitles or
Yeah.
text that I need to get through, changing voices, creating false voiceovers or AI voiceovers. It is intuitive editing. It is useful. Again, I think it's just about finding enough of your niche that you don't rely on any one set of tools or skills.
Fantastic. Okay, what's next for Jordan Grant Films that
Oh,
people should be looking out for?
oh, right. For myself personally, I want to latch onto another really strongly conceived music video idea. That's not necessarily where the business is going, but it's just because I've been so caught up with corporate work lately that I'd quite like something a little bit more creative and colourful. I do want to get further international work. I don't want to garner it by calling up hotels that I'm planning to stay at and shooting
Yeah.
videos for them for a free stay. I do want it to be a little bit more formalized and arranged from a desk and conceived from a desk and then actually executed on site so that I can get to do what I love so much, which is putting stuff down on paper and then getting out, looking through a viewfinder and actually seeing the two matching up.
You
So
know,
yeah,
so like now
more international work and a wider variety of corporate work. I guess as I build up that back catalogue of work, I'll be granted a little bit more trust and freedom with slightly quirkier ideas. I'm quite formulaic. I'm a little bit sort of rigid. Maybe it comes from a science background or something along those lines. I'm not sure. But I've for a long time, especially liking directors such as Michel Gondry and whatnot. They are kooky, quirky artists that dream stuff and then make it happen. And I'd like to definitely put some more of those thoughts to be able to put them to
brilliant.
paper and then actually execute them as well.
So
That's how
you
you
know,
get
like
remembered for
so you
odd.
know, like now you built your portfolio. You got your client base was mostly, and there's a lot of people coming back to you. Was there a time when you first started when you thought, you know what, you had to shoot this for free, maybe just to prove a point to them?
I had the benefit of making strong decisions on which content I wanted to shoot for free early on. I got a massive leg up because I was very much into entertainment at the time.
Yeah.
I was filming, so again, I missed this out, but I'd gone from working in broadcast for a matter of years through to actually deciding, oh, I'm going to take this camera kit and do it on my own.
Okay.
And so what I ended up doing was actually, it was around the time I was really stuck into festivals. I'd sign up to festivals, get a free festival ticket. You had access to 40, 60 acts perhaps, access to crew accommodation, charging and so on. So you got a nicer ride. And then you just really learn how to talk with people, how to shoot things, how to make the best of difficult situations. And then that built you such an amount of work that a lot of the time you could then make a reel out of that and ultimately get paid art or creative based work.
Sure.
So that was a good way in. I think I would have been earning to a higher potential, earning to a higher rate, had I actually just had some business acumen at the time and been able to put my foot down, draw lines where things were, both on the same page, know exactly what's going on job wise. And then fast forward many years, a business coach offered me the advice once that, you know, would you rather be working twice as hard for half the money or half as hard for twice the money?
True.
And yeah, you might doubt it when people say, oh, that's expensive, or, you know, I had someone once say that's a rip-off. It definitely wasn't. They don't know the amount of hours that were involved with
100%.
that kind of project. But you have to use that anger or that frustration at a situation. You have to use it creatively and make sure that you actually apply that, you know, and those kind of rules and the regimented sort of approach to your next project, so that these
Definitely.
things don't occur. And that change can occur really quickly. That's the great advantage of having job to job here. You can make these changes and learn on the job and move to the next job and apply it.
100%. Okay, what advice do you give to somebody starting out with a camera and a vision?
Someone, sorry, it crackled there. Someone starting out in
Just a camera and a vision.
Shoot the hell out of everything. Take your camera with you everywhere. I've now worked myself to the position where when people say, oh, hello, Jordan, where's your camera? It's like, nah, I have a life as well. My camera doesn't follow me everywhere.
Brilliant.
But
Brilliant.
if you're just starting up, be that person. Take your camera everywhere with you. You got your phone to do it with as well. I would definitely say don't just film stuff. Don't just hope to film stuff. Go out with an idea. Stick to a bit of a concept. And then edit it on your phone, get going from there, refine it. Remember, lots of films are actually started just by filming, you know, scenes on a phone, or casting sessions are done on a phone. You don't need that kind of technology just to get
100%.
going. Yeah. Just get out and shoot
Because when I
lots.
first looked at your profile, the thing that attracted me the most to your profile was, I think it's just one of the reels I clicked on. It was a Nottingham Carnival one.
Right. That's so funny, actually. It's one I'm particularly proud of, but it was literally just shot on an iPhone.
Definitely, it's really good.
With
I
a
loved
couple of
it.
mates that I'm friends with. I'm blessed to know a few talented people that help rock the carnival. And it got a load of views, and that's kind of reverts back to what you're talking about, how to connect with an audience. You know, it's the biggest carnival in Europe, biggest carnival in the Western Hemisphere, I think.
Definitely.
Like, everyone loves it. And so if you can show a view that is both my view, but also the generic view that everyone could take in, and make sure that it's getting put up at the right time. Again, timing is a lot of any project as well. But it's almost upsetting in a way, or slightly sad in a sense, because of the amount of work that goes into longer form projects that weren't just filmed and weren't just a video montage with music backing. But
Yeah.
that's great. I like making montages. It's a lot easier than trying to construct a storyline with different
100%.
opinions and
Definitely.
so on. So hey, if someone wants to pay me to make a carnival video now, oh, actually, I did get paid at this year's carnival. I shot some backstage footage and performance footage for Mr. Williams through a sound system called Reggae Roast up on Shy
Excellent.
FX's stage. That was a good look.
Okay.
Yeah, all very talented people.
So when it's all said and done, how do you want people to remember your work
Oh,
or remember you?
I don't know. I have no perception and no understanding of how people perceive my work right now. You know, I just referenced Labyrinth and Jim Henson films and Michel Gondry as very strong influences on my mind that haven't necessarily translated into my work yet. I'd like to be as quirky and as
Okay.
memorable as those kind of things, but at the same time, within the realms I work in, it's unlikely to happen. I think continuing as
I grew up in the Ealing
continuing
area.
as I am.
To work at film studios.
Sorry,
I grew up in the
it's
Ealing
breaking
area
up
as
quite
well.
badly.
So at uni. Did you do much work in Ealing
Funny
Film
enough, I
Studios?
worked in a comedy club in Ealing Film Studios years ago. But no, not
Yeah.
much work in there. I filmed in and around it, but no. My production work when I worked in TV was generally all in central London and further afield, Manchester as well. I worked on what did I work on? Police Camera Action, Ramsey's Kitchen Nightmares, The F Word, loads of other
Wow.
food
Okay.
formats. I worked for a while on A Place in the Sun, property relocation show. and they were all, and a load of adverts, Kleenex and PSP and all sorts, but they were all really enjoyable, and that's actually what motivated me. So sorry, this kind of should have been at the start. That's what
Nah, it's
motivated
fine.
me into getting into my own work and doing this for myself. Was I'd like a bit more control over projects. I would like to work with people that TV won't necessarily cover. And if I was to invest in my own gear and do this alone, where if a TV production has 30 people and it's just me alone, is my product going to be 30 times worse? Probably not. And I just use that as a base point. And then now hopefully, well, that's a perception. Okay, so then that ties into your most recent question.
Yeah.
Is a lot of people now, I think the one perception I get back is, oh, you did that alone? And that's a really nice feeling. Although I do want my work to excel further through working with the team, and it does at times when I get to work with teams. But that's a really nice feeling as well, that there are people who aren't trained in film or TV or broadcast, and they can see that looked like a multi-person production, which is wonderful. That's a massive compliment.
Fantastic. Okay, excellent. Okay, and finally, do you have a nomination for me?
Oh, I've got a couple. I'll make my first mention, and then I don't know how you do this, but do you just get in touch with them after?
Yeah, so I'd just find me a message across and say, okay, it's Joe Blogs or whatever.
Okay.
Or even a couple is good.
I would like to invite DJ Shorty Blitz. I believe one extra DJ from years back, and still very, very popular and present on the scene. He has gone through the birth, or close to the birth, of UK hip hop. He has been touring with many a big artists, both UK and worldwide based. He's seen early days of the US and UK hip hop scenes, and he's actually taken his humble, manner-laden character through to ends that you actually need to be quite brash in to actually succeed.
100%, definitely.
He's made it onto TV. He's just a very much liked, revered, and trusted person, and so I'd like to recommend him.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Jordan. I wish you all the best, and thank you for
Biggie,
coming to Biggie Let's Talk. Big love,
thank you
yeah.
so
Take
much.
it easy.
And just a quick
Thank you,
message to
sir.
anyone else: Jordan Grant Films on all platforms. So that's my website, my Instagram, my YouTube. Love you to check out the videos on my YouTube, and yeah, please subscribe and join with Biggie as well. Let's make this bigger.
Big love. Thank you very much, Jordan. All
Big
the
up,
best.
man. Take care.